We can have peace in the Middle East and peace at home. We can have understanding with the woman and peace in the home for the man. We can have peace in the Middle East when we find peace at home. Where does this peace on earth begin, if not in the heart and home? Understand the Juneteenth celebration is more than the awakening from slavery. It is not only the remembrance of how freedom was attained, it is the beck and call. It is the passing of the baton. It is the actuating responsibility of all of those who realize that you are encapsulated in a quantum theorem, many systems, many processes, all set out to do one thing: to use you as a battery, to transfer all your energy into them, and to create a genocidal chamber that reduces the population by 95%. And this Agenda 21, this genocidal aim, this global injection of Bill Gates' genocidal aims to even block the sun has not even garnered the resistance from any source that you rely on to save you, to FDA protect you, to CDC inoculate you, to medically not continue the medicine, the MEDISIN. We know today that we're in a genocidal chamber, that every vector of the web of life has been tainted, contaminated, poisoned, toxified. Even Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, even today, still spills every day 342 barrel tons of nuclide water, decimating the life, the biohemisphere of the Pacific Ocean. Not a word. Their response to this high increase of poisons is to raise the toxicity level of what is acceptable instead of dealing with the situation. And the government in the United States is under a state of insurrection. For certainly the insurrectionists who began and attempted in January has succeeded in that the Democrats on CNN reported to the Republicans that they were trying hard and would do everything necessary not to implicate the other congressmen in the sedition when they went after Trump. And of course, every time you indict Trump, it's like having a man take a bus full of haters to your birthday party. And so then you saw the chair of the Conference on Republicans stand up and say that she can't go along with this insurrection, and that if it is not dealt with, it will metastasize And as she was speaking, they were outing her. They were kicking her out of that position. So we're clearly in a state of insurrection, and you have a cowardice president who has so many strings attached that you can see the puppeteering in action. Look at the white haters. I think they called her Camellia Harris, that she was a chameleon. I was like, what was that about? Shortly found out. In the debate, she was pushing the truth about Biden's racist and non-restorative 47-year experience. So to hush her, he gave her the vice presidency. And she stopped. She stopped talking about the violence, even though by Biden not taking the critical opportunity to clean out the Congress of sedition and thereby easily have a majority in all areas, because sedition requires you to remove those who are complicit out of government, and that would create a vacuum to weed in, and it would send out a serious sign and quail many of the racist actions that you then saw, even in Atlanta, the killing of Asians and minorities. And so what did you see Biden, who owed the black vote, owed something? Well, he considered you fourth-class citizens and bypassed you and went to the Asians and quickly passed a hate bill. And even if you think any bill will be sufficient, you're in error. Because as a crooked judge and magistrate from Summit County, I overheard him telling the clerk who was concerned that what he was doing was illegal. She said, but it's illegal. And he said, yes, but if they don't enforce it, it's like it's not illegal. And that's why you have all the judicial impropriety and terroristic acts, because you're conceding to consent to a system that's meant for your genocide. And as long as you consent and participate in a system that's meant for your genocide, you will never get anything other than more genocide. So, they're going to teach you to do some interesting things. They're going to teach you to abandon all reason. They're going to teach you to, even in the news, in the newspaper, even in this area, they were teaching people to abandon all reason and take all of the vaccines at one time. If that's not a genocide, and it's written in the papers, so everybody should grab a copy of that and then sue them for fraud and a lot of other things, because that information is a terroristic tool that if you were foolish enough to take all the vaccines at once, the repercussions on your organs cannot be measured. You just be stupid. Boo-boo the fool. So, like I said, we're here at John Brown's house because it's necessary for you to see how John Brown, an abolitionist specialist, was a part of the background. But we find it kind of interesting that the city really doesn't celebrate it. It doesn't really celebrate it. And you can see it's been here for years, and they're just starting to do little things. And the statue is not even here. So you can see that they don't celebrate it. And you wonder why they don't celebrate it. And it's very, kind of understanding why. It's kind of understanding. So why wouldn't the city celebrate John Brown? And it's very, very evident. You say, well, why wouldn't they celebrate the John Brown? Because you're still in slavery. And because you're still in slavery, they don't want to incite you to think about your freedoms. And so they're not going to have the statue that's easily seen. They're going to keep you in a kind of a state of celebratory foolishness. See? And so what you have to do is look beyond the mirrors. Look beyond the mirrors and understand. And again, the thing that I love about the story of John Brown is not only that he did it for the love of humanity, not only was he a Christian, but that he wasn't alone. There were many people that supported John Brown, and one of his biggest supporters was a black businesswoman who literally told John Brown, if you succeed, you will have plenty more where that came from. And you have to wonder, where are the supporters today? That this should be an icon of those who support the liberation of your mind, of your taxes, of your districts. You know, you live in a district, and you know you look at the root word district, it means strain, to strain, and straining. So you live in constructs that strain you and keep you from the reality. We want to invite you to the Juneteenth celebration, going to be June 10th. That's in Atlanta, Georgia, at the South Bend Park for the arts. And we will talk to you soon. Send your love in. Send your love in.